Good afternoon. Welcome to Deep Thoughts While Driving. Me, myself, and I here. If you watched my last video about being late for work, then you realize this is the same drive to work, and I just thought of something that I wanted to talk about. Being a parent nowadays can really suck big time. I say that because it's Thursday, which means it's my Monday. I'm heading to work. I work afternoon shifts. Basically, I work 4 to midnight. So, what the are you doing? Stay in your lane. My sleep pattern is stay up late, get up around noon. Thursdays suck because I don't get to see my son. He's going to school before I get up, and he's in bed before I get home, obviously, because I get home after midnight. My wife and I both work on Thursdays, so excuse me, I need more coffee. One of the young ladies that my wife works with watches my son on Thursdays. It was a case of, do you want to babysit for me, or do you want to work this shift? You know, like switch shifts with me. Because I got no babysitters on Thursdays, so I need you to either trade shifts with me so I work Tuesday, or I need you to work Tuesday and babysit. So the young lady's like, well, what works better for you? My wife's like, well, I would really rather not lose my, it's a shift I'd lose. And totally screw everything up, because then, like, it's the only day off that my wife and I have together. So the young lady's like, I'll watch your son. I'll babysit, sure. Gives me something to do and helps you out. No problem. So the young lady's watching my son. Well, we will be watching him, be the babysitter tonight. And then on Friday, we've got a cousin that we use one Friday, and one of my wife's co-workers' brothers babysits the other Friday. And then Grandma, my son's great-grandmother, watches him on Saturday night, and we grab him the wife grabs him on Sunday. So the fact that the young lady's babysitting for free is great. Saves us about $200 a month on babysitters. It doesn't make sense. I work 4 days a week, 8-hour shifts. I work 32 hours a week unless I get called in for an extra shift or something. I work for the nurses union. I make good money. My wife works, she's scheduled for 72 hours every 2 weeks. Or no, how does it work? Yeah. I think basically she's scheduled to work the same number of hours I do, with the understanding that after, because she does it like 7-hour shift, and then there's cleanup, so by the time you're done, they get you your 8 hours. So she should be basically working 40-hour weeks. She put in payroll last night for herself and everybody else at work, her work, not mine, and she's got 108 hours. Now, my wife is supposed to be working 40-hour work week, so 80 hours the pay period. She's worked over 108. There's a $5 an hour difference in pay between my wife and I. I make more than she does an hour, and my wife is bringing home more money each paycheck than I am, because she's working so many hours. So much overtime. Now, nowadays, when my daughter was the same age as my son, I was working basically a minimum wage job, 40 hours a week, taking care of myself, my first wife, and my daughter, living in townhouses. 20 years later, basically, I'm living in the same complex of townhouses with a child about the same age as my daughter was. I'm working permanent part-time, making double what I used to make an hour, at least, more than double. Because I think minimum wage was like $9 an hour, and I'm making just over double that. My wife works as well. Now we owned our vehicles. We didn't have vehicle payments, so now I got a vehicle payment. We got cell phones and this, that, and the other, and life is so much more expensive nowadays to live that it takes two of us to work, basically full-time or almost full-time, to live in the same places. It's kind of messed up. But yeah, what is going on at work? There's an insane number of vehicles here. Alright, well, life be crazy. Doesn't make sense. Takes two of us to work to make live at the same kind of standard, or a little bit better. Anyway, I'm at work. Take her easy. Have a good one. Catch you later.